The first thing is your face gets really cold. The water is anywhere between 1 and 3 degrees. It'll hit the exposed parts of your face. Once your lips go numb, it's all good. No stress there. When you get underneath, you pause for a second. You'll hear the wind chopping up the water in the hole. You're gonna hear the people crunching their feet around the snow as they're walking around. If you listen really carefully, I find ice to be a very living, breathing thing. It has almost like a mind of its own. It crackles, it pops. You have a lot of people walking back and forth, and on a really warm day, the ice can crack from one end of the lake to the other. Doesn't really affect the structural integrity when it's 18 inches thick, but it sounds like a gunshot underwater. It's incredible how loud it is. But you're also struck by how quiet it is. The ice is doing its thing, but everything else underwater is silent. And it's one of the most peaceful, meditative things. A lot of our divers, they won't even do anything crazy underwater. They'll just go down the line, hold on to the line, close their eyes, and have a little meditation session just to enjoy the feeling of the ice. It's like being wrapped in a very cold blanket.
What do you have for screws right now? Got one there?
I did lose my little brother to suicide. And ever since he passed away, it's always been all the things that I do, I feel like he's watching. And I feel like he's experiencing them with me. And to date, it's been 3 or 4 people who changed their minds and made a different decision because of his story. And I feel like using something like this, like cold immersion, to promote mental health, because they do have such an innate connection, kind of honors his memory and ensures that we can do something really good, not just recreationally, but maybe something good for someone who may be struggling in a way we can't see. I felt like it was a tool to be able to continue to share his story, and I share it very, very openly, because if another person will make a different decision than he did, so worth it. And using freediving, using mental health combined, I feel like he'd be pretty stoked on that, not just because it's something that we did, but because other people are now able to try something challenging and come out of it finding something else that they have so much passion for.
So do you think that he himself would enjoy freeze diving?
Hell no. Not a chance. No, but he would enjoy the beer afterwards. There's something inside me where my blood pressure just drops and I just relax when I'm in nature. It clears my mind where I just get excited to do projects, and it's kind of the only place where my mind is clear enough to think of how am I going to do these projects. So it gives just a clarity that I miss. Aside from being able to go to places that there is no cell reception so people can't find me, it just feels more peaceful. It's more comfortable. I'm not a huge fan of spending too much time listening to cars going back and forth. I'm gonna be the unpopular person. A lot of people say we do this because it's hard and it's character building and it makes you resilient and so badass. I'm very overdoing things because it makes you badass. I do it because it's fun. Like, you get underwater, you see this ice sheet, you see the sparkle of the sunlight coming through. You suffer through the wind a little bit at the surface, but it's so much fun to be able to do this. And a big joy for me is getting people who are afraid of ice in general or afraid of holding their breath under ice and seeing the joy that they experience the first time they do it. This past trip, we just had someone who'd never done this before. They were super concerned. They get in the water and they do a depth dive. They come back up and they're like, Sabrina, that was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And they were talking this fast. And all they could do was, I'm going again. And this time they went between the 2 holes, full overhead, and popped up the other side and just glowing and beaming. And I'm pretty sure she was crying. She was so happy. Seeing that, one of the best feelings in the world.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out this video. This was quite an interesting one to film and came with a few challenges as well. Since we're out in the middle of a frozen lake in the mountains, it was very gusty and also it was very cold. I was sick at the time too, so that didn't help, but I even had to wear these like ice spikes on my boots, so that way when the gusts came up, I didn't slide into the hole that they were diving into, because that would not have been good. But it was really neat to see how all of this came together, all the people that worked together to make these things happen. And it was also neat to see them like underneath the ice, because I was standing above, and if you look down, you could see them underneath it. And I was cold on the surface. I can't imagine how cold I was in the water, but they like doing it, and I enjoy watching it and filming it and sharing it with all of you. So if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing. It really helps us out, and we're excited to share more stories with you in the future.